Good morning, everyone. I'm David Cotton. Your Ryan Auto Group time is 6:30 a.m. I am joined this morning by U.S. Senator and gubernatorial candidate, Mr. David Vitter. Good morning.
Great to be with you, David. Thanks for the invite.
Great to have you back. I know you're a busy guy. You got a lot going on this week. A little break from,
Yeah, we're out of session, so the country's safe for a while. But we go back in session next week. But yeah, I'm touring the state, doing a lot of interesting things, including a small business committee field hearing. I'm bringing the Senate Small Business Committee to Louisiana, and we're having a field hearing here this morning.
Yeah, and you're doing that this morning. You're going to be with Dr. Abraham as well.
He's going to join me for that field hearing. It should be a great discussion about skills training, workforce training. You know, David, the great news is we have a lot of good jobs coming to Louisiana because of American energy, because of other things, but we need Louisianians with the skill sets to fill those jobs and have great, prosperous careers. So that skills training, like what goes on at Delta Community College, where we're having this field hearing, is really important.
Well, I know, speaking of Delta, they just did a groundbreaking for a new campus in Jackson Parish. Talk about, just because we mentioned it, having those rural campuses there for just workforce training.
Well, first of all, the whole community college, technical college system is very important, and that certainly needs to branch out into rural areas, as Delta is doing, to reach folks who need that skills training. Again, this is a key to bridge the gap between the jobs that do exist and giving Louisianians opportunity there by giving them the skills they need.
And you are currently the chairman of the Senate Small Business and Entrepreneurship Committee.
Correct.
Can you tell me, how do you think those skills are going to translate over, say, to the governor's office, if that were the case?
Well, of course, all this is very relevant at the state level. Again, beefing up our skills training, beefing up and growing the technical community college system, that is all under state government. So this is an issue that's right in the wheelhouse of the governor, the governor's office, and that's another reason I'm focusing on it as I do my education for the gubernatorial campaign, preparing for the job.
Now, I want to ask a little bit about what's been going on in the Senate. I know we were speaking sort of between the break that things are actually kind of getting done. For
a change, we're voting, we're debating on things. You know, Harry Reid in the old Senate had really shut down the Senate process and not allowed votes and important debates. We're getting back to what we call regular order and actually having votes. In fact, there were 2 or 3 different days in January where we had more votes each day than all of 2014 on the Senate floor. So that's healthy. It's healthy for everybody there, so everyone can have their say and we can have an important debate and vote.
Speaking of debates and votes, there is a situation right now involving Loretta Lynch, and for folks, Loretta Lynch is the presidential nominee to replace Eric Holder for U.S. Attorney General.
Correct.
You do not support this nomination?
No, I'm opposing the nomination primarily because of President Obama's executive amnesty, which I think is flat out illegal and unconstitutional. David, if you remember last November, President Obama issued these executive orders whereby he's trying to give about 5 million illegal aliens in the country amnesty. He's not going to Congress, he's not changing the law, and the law says this can't happen. He's just trying to do it with the stroke of a pen. I think that is flat out illegal and unconstitutional. Loretta Lynch, his nominee for Attorney General, is trying to justify it, trying to support it in office. If she were confirmed, she would be a key figure supporting that illegal action. So I'm voting no on her nomination, her confirmation.
And now a judge in Texas just kind of pumped the brakes on that a little bit.
Right.
What was your initial reaction to that?
Well, I thought that was a great ruling. A federal district court in Texas said, time out, no, you can't do it this way, agreed with what I just said, and put everything on hold. Now, it's going to be appealed, so that's certainly not the final word, but I think that's the correct word, and hopefully that decision will be upheld.
All right, before we leave today, I want to touch on the campaign. I know it's early in the race, but you've picked up some key endorsements. Senator Bill Cassidy, of course, Rand Paul. Tell me about getting those early.
Well, our campaign is going great. I'm very energized, and of course, the most important endorsement are of individual voters, and we get those every day. We have tremendous grassroots support. In fact, later today, I'm having a meeting of our sort of grassroots network and core here in Northeast Louisiana. So it's going extremely well in every category: polling, grassroots, fundraising, and the category I'm most determined to lead in is ideas and solutions. And so I've been putting forth concrete ideas and solutions. I think voters in Louisiana are starved for leadership, quite frankly. Our present governor has kicked the can down the road, avoided the big issues. Many people think he's more determined to go to Iowa and New Hampshire than to stay in Louisiana and really address these big challenges like the budget. So I think people are really starved for leadership, and I'm responding with concrete ideas and solutions.
Can I ask you real quick, what would you do about this budget if you were in office right now?
Well, I've said weeks ago that the first thing I would do right out the box is call a special session of the legislature focused exclusively on spending and budget reform and tax reform. We should be doing that now. The governor's not. I would do it right out the box. On the spending side, we need to create more flexibility, undedicate some things so that when we have a slow economy, a lot of things can take a 0.5% haircut versus higher ed taking an 8% cut for 6 years in a row. On the tax side, we need to take a very hard look at all of our state tax exemptions and deductions and credits. Some of those are justified and produce bang for the buck and produce economic growth. Others do not, and we have to get rid of the ones that don't.
All right, well, I want to thank you for joining me again this morning.
Thank you, David, very much.
We will, of course, have all of your itinerary on our website. That's myarklamiss.com. Catch Senator David Vitter around the Arklamiss today.
Yeah, 9:30, Delta Community College. Love for folks to come out. All right.